That's it. What we're trying to do is unlearn all this stuff we think we know. And we start out with who we are. We think we know who we are, but we don't. In our first non-dual book, we read, you are not the body. And we think, oh, that's a good pointer. Wonder what that means. Well, it means you are not the body. Oh, says the body. Oh, I can't.
Yeah, so it seems like a better definition for omniscience would be the absence of the need to know.
Yeah, that's it. As I sometimes tell people, I don't know anything at all, and I'm looking to learn less. I mean, to know even less. And you stay because it's staying empty. Because somebody, I heard somebody mention something that sent a flag to my head, and it was like somebody was talking about being available. I think it doesn't matter. So awakeness doesn't push anything out. Awakeness goes where there is openness. And if I am full of my ideas and my answers, and I already know, and people in awake and seekers who have not yet become finders they believe, many of them are arrogant, and they believe that I was the most arrogant being there is, and there's still arrogance here, but it's the unit's fault. That has nothing to do with me. So, but the idea that I already know what this is about, that's the most arrogant position that there is, because now there's somebody who knows all about something else. And you see, that can't be true. That's not what they're talking about, is it?
There's so much freedom in just never even needing to know.
Yeah. Well, well, what do I do now? Well, do you actually make a bunch of decisions, or do things happen and then you notice that you claim to have made that decision? Right? And I've seen it where they will have a brain hooked up, and I'm not saying 100% of scientists believe this, but I'm saying science recognizes, many very smart scientists recognize this, and you can see it on YouTube. I've seen it. There's something happens, and then there is a spark in the brain instantly, and that spark is a thought to explain why this just happened, how this just happened, and also wants to share the fact that I did it. Right? And there's no I here. I mean, we can say I am the I or whatever, but what does that really mean? It means that there's no one finds that out. That is discovered upon not the collection of a new identity, but from the abandonment of an old one. And once I found out that this unit is completely unsatisfiable, then I began to wonder, well, why am I trying so hard to do that? And once I really discovered that that was actually true, that this unit was unsatisfied, it didn't matter what you gave it. It just was, oh, that's nice, thank you, next. Right? You got your dream come true. Thank you. Thank you very much. What a little dream that was. Hey, let me get back on that train. So if we can acknowledge that this thing is unsatisfiable, we can quit expecting to wake up an imaginary character. I came here trying to wake up Fred. And Fred Davis very much wanted to know God, to know the truth. And the truth is that God woke up to the fiction of Fred Davis, which is a totally different experience. And I thought of something this morning, and I sent myself an email on it so that I would remember to address it in a video. And the problem here is that we are trying to teach relative beings bodies. We're trying to do, as teachers, this is the teacher's chief mistake. I mean, those teachers who are really don't have it. You know, the chief mistake is that they're trying to teach this unit how to do it. And I'm going to tell you how this unit did it and how my experience was. And the fact is that you cannot teach a relative being about the absolute, because the recognition of the absolute is the absence of a relative being. So the relative being, Fred will never come to know God. And recognizing that God comes to recognize there's no Fred, that's a whole other thing. And that's what we're really after. We don't know it's what we're after because the ego knows what we're after and it's looking for self-aggrandizement, right? And special things and maybe special powers and things like that, you know? People get lost in cities or people get lost in practices or whatever.